Welcome to Hella Vella, Eric's first three Vella reviews. I am your host, Eric Eisen, and this is Azriel Wallace. And today we are interviewing Tirzah Hawkins and her book called The Monarchs Daughter, Season 1 of Tainted Elves. I probably wrote that wrong. Just so you know, these are the first three episodes. These first three episodes are about 1,000 words, so keep that in mind if you do read this yourself. Now, Tirzah, do you have other Vella offerings as well?
Quite a few. This one's the first fantasy one that I have up there. The other ones are a bit more horror or thriller. Dark being a apocalyptic Walking Dead type feel, a little bit of, it's kind of like The Walking Dead meets The Stand. That's how I would describe Dark. And then my other really popular one is His Game, which is a thriller in which I tell you from the very first episode who did it and what he did, and yet you still continue through to the end and can't quit. Oh, and then I have to mention Azriel's favorite, which would be Spider Sight, which was really cathartic for me to write. And it's funny because now that I've put it out, I am much less arachnophobic in my life, but people read it and they find themselves having much more fear around spiders. So it's great to be able to just pass that on and not have to deal with it as much myself. So you've been forewarned.
You have cupped that karma and you have given it to others.
I passed it along. Yes. I dealt with it for pretty severely for 3.5 decades. So it's somebody else's turn to be afraid of spiders.
I have a picture you might like.
I don't like spiders. No, but now they're all named Fred.
Oh, Fred. Okay.
Yeah, so if you see a spider, tell Fred hi.
Yes.
We used to call flies whenever that you couldn't kill Fred. Like, you'd like go around the house and you'd try to smack them and you'd always miss and then get away. Fred the unkillable fly.
Apparently there's this movie out there called Drop Dead Fred that everybody associates Spider Sight with. And I'd never heard of it, but apparently that's what the name Fred makes people think of, and that's a comedy. So if that's what you're looking for, that's not what you're going to get out of Spider Sight.
No.
All right. You also have some nonfiction stuff. If you want to talk about that, now would be the time. But otherwise, we can move on.
Just the main one with that is I'm really trying to help others with advertising their Vellas. So that's the one that I'm super passionate about with the nonfiction, is helping people to market their Kindle Vella stories. And so I'm just breaking down how to set up your Facebook ads dashboard, setting up audiences. It was really great because somebody had watched my tutorial, the video tutorial on it, and was still struggling on setting up their audiences. And then after reading the tutorial, they got their first 2 audiences set up. So that was really cool. Just found that out today.
That's awesome. All right. And what is that called for the audience?
I think it's called Marketing Your Kindle Vella Stories.
Awesome. All right.
Oh, it's advertising a Kindle Vella story. That's what it was.
All right. Excellent. All right. Now, since this is a review, let's flip this around and have Azriel ask me some questions.
Okay, that I can do. So if I want to read The Monarch's Daughter, but I want you to tell me a little bit about it. Give me blurb me. Tell me what it's about. Sell me.
All right. So, yeah, I'll just read the blurb. 4 million years ago, an evil sorcerer found a way to corrupt the blood of elves and create a new race called the Kalei. I think that's how you say that. Kalia. All right. He hoped to harness their power, to harness the power of these beings to control the galaxy. The Kalea live now disguised among men under the protection and leadership of their monarch, but their monarch is oh wow, I can normally say this, I really can. Enigmatically killed by a human, a feat which should be impossible, and his daughter becomes mind linked with the murderer. What happens with the Kalea and the human, and what happens when I don't know what's wrong with me today. What happens when a Kalea and a human coexist in a shared mind? Okay, finally, thank you. That is my finest performance.
Okay. So that sounds pretty good. So you read the first 3 episodes, because we all
Yes.
know that the first 3 on Kindle Vella is always free. And you don't have to spend tokens or anything, so you can get a little taste. So these are about 1,000 words a piece, did you say, when you started? Okay. So could you get a sense of who your favorite character was in these 3 episodes?
Yes. I actually, my favorite character is see, I was calling him Sinise, but apparently it's Sinus. And he's the very first person that we're introduced to, and there's just something about him that makes me think, this is going to be a really important character, even though I'm not sure there's anything from his point of view from this point forward. So I'm a little sad about that.
Look at her, she's just grinning, that's all. Yes. All right, so Sinus was your favorite character.
Mhm.
And is he an elf dude?
He is one of the Kalea, yeah.
He's an elf dude, Kalea elf
Yeah.
dude kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So were you able to glean any favorite bits of lore from the first 3? Favorite bits of magic, favorite bits of whatever?
I actually do like the Kalea lore. They are near demonic looking creatures because of this curse, but as long as they have one of their powerful ones on their side, they can appear, I believe, human, though I don't exactly remember yeah, I believe it was human. And Tirzah is nodding her head, so that must be right.
Okay,
And
so
I loved that.
as long as they have what with them?
Well, I guess it's called their monarch, but it's like a powerful
Liege Lord?
yeah, sort of like a powerful person that has this ability to hide them through illusion. Glamour, that's the word I was thinking of. He has the power to glamour his people.
Oh, okay. So he can make this happen for all of them. They don't know how to do this.
It didn't get into that,
Okay.
at least in the first 3. But I imagine it's whoever is, someone that's just powerful magical wielders could do it,
Okay.
seems like.
All right. Well, so fair enough. So what was your overall rating on the story? We have that 1 to 5 star thing,
Yeah, so overall rating, it's a 5. It's it's very well written, which is always awesome. I didn't have anything that I stumbled on that I can remember right offhand. So yeah, it was definitely I definitely give this a 5 rating.
Cool. All right. Well, what about its bingeability? It's fun to read.
Bingeability is a good word, and I need to change that on our thing. No, I totally. I mean, I read the first 3 chapters, in one sitting. I had some other things to read as well, so I didn't go much further than that. But yeah, no, it was really great.
Oh, very cool. So you give that a 10?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're going to turn it over to Tirzah and let her just go ahead and beat you up with whatever questions she can think about right now. So she gets 2 free-form questions. I have to ask what's on the shared Google document. And now it's Tirzah's turn.
Yeah, so I just thought it'd be fun to ask, especially since in the first 3 episodes, the Kovad kills Flene's father in front of her. So what would you need someone to do in order for you to be able to forgive them for killing your father? What would that take?
That is a good question. That's a really good question. That's one I didn't even think of. It would take a lot of self-sacrifice, I think. I would have to, well, apology for one would be appropriate.
So you need them
Do you
to
think
not
there's a
ignore
Hallmark
what they
card
did.
for that? Oh, I'm sorry. I offed your old man. I'm so sorry. All righty then.
So
Right.
the apology to start would be a good place, and then for them to
Yeah.
be a little bit self-sacrificing towards you,
Yeah.
making
Although it felt like to me from the whenever you wrote the story in his point of view, he didn't really know what he was doing. Like somebody was pulling his strings, and that would go a long way, because it's like, you know, if somebody's pulling your strings, you're going to have issues controlling what you do. And an explanation of that might be like, okay, so you were just a puppet, I get it, okay. But yeah, so
all right. So that's a good lead in for our second question then, is what does it take, knowing that somebody was a puppet in a story, what does it take for you as a reader to then gain some respect? Because typically when you find out when somebody's a puppet, they kind of lose a little in your view. So what would it take for somebody to gain respect?
well, I mean, as it's a dark fantasy story, I'm going to answer it in that particular mode. The maybe taking out the person that caused the problem would show a great deal of willpower, and yeah, I think that would be the best way of gaining respect for them, is if they toppled the person that did this to them.
So if they kill their own puppet master.
Killed, made them lose their abilities, however you wanted to do it.
Take them down a notch, at least something.
Yeah.
So just as a spoiler, so I can be a little bit lazy, who would win between the Oompa Loompas and the Lollipop Kids?
I said the Lollipop Kids because they always have those lollipops. They would just like knock the block off of an Oompa Loompa. But other people disagreed with me.
The Oompa Loompas could drown you in a river of chocolate.
That's if they have the river of chocolate. The Lollipop Kids always have their lollipops. So in a dark alley, the Lollipop Kids, hands down.
And didn't you see that that Halloween movie with Sam Hain with the little Halloween doll where he bites out a section of his sucker and that makes a knife out of it and he cuts people's throats open with it?
Yeah.
So we've got that.
You got enough string. The other end is a blunt spear.
Yeah. true.
Well, a blunt spear. All right.
You never know
Oh.
where things gonna go when you're
No,
talking.
no, I never know where anything's going. Airik, I don't even know what he's looking at right now. What are you looking at?
I'm reading.
People always ask my husband how he goes to sleep next to me. He's like, "Are you sure you want to close your eyes next to that crazy girl?"
Isn't that always the spouse of a writer? It's like, I mean, I mostly write horror-ish stuff too, and it's like, do you think this person is actually like this? And most people are like, Airik? Really? No. Those are
No.
the ones that always, but
We
think-
horror writers surprise you because we can appear normal.
right.
You guys remember So I Married an Axe Murderer? Where she was sleeping next to him and she was like, isn't it something how we trust each other? I mean, I could just like take a needle and stick it right here in your ear.
I haven't watched that movie
I'd
in
be
a long
like,
time.
just because you thought of that, you are out the door. We are done. I don't care how cute you are. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So that's it. Monarch's Daughter sounds great. I'm going to read that. So Tirzah, thank you so much for coming on here and doing Airik's first three.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right. So to our viewers, all of her Vellas will be linked below. Well, all of them. Do you have a LinkTree?
No, apparently I need one because I have 11 now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, we're gonna have all her linked below. We're gonna have my LinkTree and Az's LinkTree. That's going to have my psychological horror called Jacked, my urban fantasy, The Fearless Adept, my dark fantasy, Maiden Bloom, Age of Myths, Book 1, and links to my anthologies that I did with a bunch of different Vella authors. If you have interest in becoming a Vellan writer, you can find us on Facebook by searching Vellans, VELLAINS, or you can find us on vellans.com. All right. Thank you. And
I'm hooked on Maiden's Bloom. So if you guys need something to read from Airik, Maiden's Bloom, I'm caught up. I need to know where it's going. And Azrael's Ginlina is amazing. Read that with your kids. And then apparently she has a naughty family member that wrote about some naughty witches. Naughty Witches Academy. So give that one a try.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. See, that's awesome. She shouted us out. That's nice. All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time.